Thank you to Justin Aoyang for that track. It's called Aurora. Check him out on Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube. And his ad is Zenix, Zenics. Also, his Instagram is Justin A. That's JUSTINAYYY.
Oh, okay, double Y. This is like the
Double
first
Y,
time
double
Alex
Y.
did the plug, hey. We host Ben, Lindy, and Alex, and welcome to the Cultivating podcast. Today's episode 3, and we want to cover a topic that often gets overlooked, and that is cultivating your creative circle. So I guess one of the best things as a creative, like in this world, is to be able to find a group of people that you vibe with, right?
Yeah, so like, what do we mean by this, right? So there are people in this world that you can connect with, and it's either personally or creatively, right?
Yeah.
And what we're trying to do, I mean, for us creatives, we're trying to find someone that we can connect with creatively and personally. And what do you call these people?
I don't want to say it.
Lindy doesn't want to say it. This is what you call a unicorn. Like, bro, in like girl terms. I don't know. I looked up the
I've
definition
never said
before.
it.
Lindy's never heard. Have you guys heard? Have you heard of it?
I've never heard of
So
it.
no one's ever heard of the definition of like finding your unicorn.
No.
Are you serious? I feel
Yes.
like, am I the only one?
Yes.
Because like,
Maybe.
well, I guess what I mean by that is that you're trying to find the unicorn, something that's mythical, something that's like, you know,
Out of this
I
world.
unobtainable. Something,
get it.
yeah, you know what I mean.
That makes sense.
Okay, yeah, I get it.
What's a better phrase then for people
I said it before, hey.
finding the rainbow?
Yeah, the rainbow.
Yeah, I guess same.
I don't know. It's just the unicorn part.
Or finding the gold at the end of the rainbow.
Okay.
No. I don't know. But whatever. All right. So finding people who you connect with creatively and personally, I think that's super hard. Like vibing with them. Because I'd have some friends who I connect with who are creative. I connect them personally. But creatively, it's like I don't know. We don't have the same aesthetic.
It's
same
different.
style. Yeah, it's different, right?
It's different to, because I get what you mean, because it's hard when you're trying to talk to someone with creative terms, but they don't understand,
Yeah.
right? And you're
Yeah.
just like, oh. And like as a graphics designer, you talk about really nitty gritty things like alignment,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know, like proportion, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, yeah, that looks good.
When you ask someone for their opinion, they're like, who's not creative, they're like, oh, yeah, that's cool. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
And you're like, oh,
But I guess as a
That
creative,
looks dope, bro. Keep it up.
fire, fire, fire.
Prayer
Isn't it?
hands.
yeah, but I guess as a creative, you're always looking for a more thorough critique.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, that's what we want. The unicorn. I'm going to stick with that word.
Okay.
Right.
Makes sense.
All right. So, what's a predicament that like we've been facing with lately, right? So, I guess personally for me, I'll start. All of us three, and like group of other friends, we've been together. We've been talking to each other since high school.
How many years
So
is
it's
that?
been 9 years.
Yeah.
9 years. So grade 8. I don't know Lindy in grade 8, but yeah, whatever. But we've been friends since high school, and I feel like it's kind of a disadvantage for us in terms of when we grow up, we only know how to talk to each other. So like,
True.
it's just what I've noticed really when we're all talking to each other. We got a million inside jokes that literally anyone that joins the group is like, what the fuck? These guys are weird.
Yeah.
I'm a jet, and then that's how we've always stayed in our own group.
I'm a jet.
But yeah, so I guess that's kind of hindering because we've grown together essentially, and the language that we use is only pretty much exclusive to ourselves.
Yeah.
So once we graduate uni, the issue comes. Oh, graduate high school, you're like, okay, I guess I'm kind of forced to find someone new because we all have different pathways in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so eventually you're gonna have to meet other people, and for me personally, I'm an introvert. Nobody ever believes this. Every time I say it, these guys always make a face, like Lindy's face right now.
I don't believe it. Do you guys believe it? Does Ben look like an introvert?
I'm like a rechargeable battery. I have a quota. You need to charge that shit, or else I will not be able to like
Yeah.
perform or like talk to anyone.
Okay.
Or not effectively.
But that's
that
like
is.
battery wise. But you
Yeah,
still go
I'm a
out
battery.
to like meet other people though, right?
Yeah, but like, yeah, that's my quota. So I'm like, okay, I can only meet one person a day, or else I can't go meeting 2 strangers in one day because I die.
Right. Okay, that makes sense
Yeah,
then.
so there's a quota to it. So for me at least, it's kind of hard to find new people and get out of the comfort zone because the rate of which I find people is slow, I think.
Right.
And I think it was a good experience for me when I went out of high school to go on straight into TAFE, that I met new people that way. Back then I was like I'm still like really shy and I didn't want to talk to anyone, but there's a lot of people who kind of went into my circle and like popped my bubble, and that felt really good. Popped my cherry.
Yeah.
It's kind of
So
like
say virgin.
do something about. I was like, gotta
But
keep
yeah,
this PG.
so growing from there, I think that was a really good point to kind of meet new people, and I found a reason why it was good to see other perspectives. And like I was really close-minded in terms of like, oh fuck, this person's older than me by like 3 years, and I'm like, nah, we don't vibe. I'm outie. That was the point of where I was like, okay, I don't think this will work.
Okay.
But that was a very narrow-minded way of thinking.
Yep.
And I met a friend who was like 10 years older than me, and we connected really well.
Yeah.
And I was really shocked. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just like gonna go off that example from you though, because
Yeah.
for me, like I tend to vibe with just going off like in general. I tend to vibe with someone older, and
And he's an old lady.
yeah, and I can't. I don't know. I can't vibe with someone younger. Not to say like
Are you closing off your audience, Lindy?
no, it's not like that. It's just more like I think obviously we're growing at different paces, and obviously there's like a minority of people that are young, but they have like a really wise outlook and perspective on life. I'm saying like I can totally,
Mature.
but I'm not saying younger people are like immature, but I'm saying it's a different wavelength when I do talk to them.
Okay.
What are you talking shit about Chanel, bro? She's younger
Yeah,
than
I'm
you.
talking about Chanel. Get with it, Chanel. But
No comment.
no comment, no one, literally no one. And for Ben, like he went to TAFE, and for Alex and I, like we went to uni for like an extended amount of time.
Yeah, this is where our paths
Like just
separated.
split off.
And we're forced to fend ourselves in this world.
Pretty much, because we weren't working with Ben while like I was at uni and he was at TAFE, right? We only started working with each other afterwards.
After you graduated uni.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so we never really approached each other for anything during that period of time.
I don't know why.
There's a reason. Anyways,
Nice.
yeah, but I feel like for uni, first and second year were really hard to find a group that you like vibe with, because there's such like a mix, like a diversity of people and how they want to work. And I didn't fit in like anywhere, I don't think. My first
Nowhere. You had no friends.
I had no friends. No, it's like a lot of people will get what I mean by when you work with a group and like you probably click really well, but then like the next term or the next assignment, you guys don't work together. And like that's just that pretty much.
Why is that?
You can't do anything about it. I don't know, because sometimes when you're like, hey, you want to work together? And they'll be like, oh, I'm already in a group, sorry.
Oh, awkward.
Nah, that's not me. That's not my situation. But that didn't happen
We're
to
just
me.
trying to compensate.
No, but one of my really good uni friends, Alana, I've worked with so many assignments with her, and because we vibe on like the same creative length, and that's why we chose to work together all the time. And like
Oh, okay.
that's what I mean by like, wow, this is a good vibe. Like we get each other, we get our wavelengths on how we work, and we don't really hold each other back in a way.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and that's I think doing group assignments as well in uni, you really find out what type of person you like to work with and what type of person that you don't really want to work with.
So you gain a lot. I guess you kind of fast track your way of thinking of, okay, I want to work with this guy, not this person. And this type of person, nah, that's not happening.
Yeah, that's not happening. Because like, obviously like, because like in our last year of uni, everyone's really tight together. Second last year and last year. And we all know each other and we sort of know who to work with and who not to work with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think that's where I lacked, because I didn't have that kind of, because TAFE was like chill. Everybody was chill. But in
Did
uni,
everyone know everyone, or is just?
yeah, it was just this, like
A small group.
everyone knew everyone. Yeah, it was just 2 classes of like I think 48 people or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess that's where I kind of lacked, because I couldn't. You don't really work with people. Oh no, I guess you work with people. No, okay. When I think back, I worked with people and I fucking hated it, because some of them were like really fucking shit. But it was just because they're like lazy, not because
Work
of their
ethic.
work. Yeah, work ethic and the way they think and the way they work is different, I think. So someone who's like really strong-minded, opinionated, or someone who's more laid back, more open-minded. That's
Yeah.
different styles.
Yeah.
But what I experienced was just work ethic.
Right.
Work
Yeah.
ethic.
And that's just I hated. But yeah, besides the point. So that's like the easiest way to kind of meet people right out of high school.
Yeah, out of high
Right.
school, uni, but it's also obviously putting yourself out there when you're at uni. Like, obviously, you're not going to get very far if you're going to be like introverted and sort of stick to yourself and not go out and find like a group. Because that's what I sort of did first and second year. Like, I was like, oh, I'm not really vibing with this. And there's just some people that you sort of see and say hi and just talk a little bit to, and then you sort of just go off on your own.
Right.
But the second last year and the last year for uni for me was absolutely amazing because we all knew each other. We all knew our like strengths and weaknesses, and we can bounce ideas off each other. Just literally like across the hall, I'll be like yelling over something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we're all just like so tight.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's really good. It's really good.
True,
What about
true.
you?
I have a similar experience with you in uni, but like I'm gonna bring up a example that's kind of like I didn't experience myself, but I've seen a lot of people have success in that area.
Okay.
So it's like online forums,
Oh, really?
so like Reddit, and a specific example would be Brockhampton. So
Right.
they hit mainstream. They gained mainstream popularity recently because of their
Yeah.
song Sugar.
How's that go?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, okay. I know. I actually got that straight away.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
And basically it's like a group of 8 to 9 guys that all met on a Kanye West forum.
Kanye West forum.
They met on a Kanye West forum, and they have like 1 or 2 mixtapes. I might be wrong, but they have like 4 albums deep now.
Do you know how they connected? So they just literally went on the forum and they commented and they just vibed.
Yeah. They created a band over a Kanye West forum.
Wow.
That's insane.
Kanye just seems to get in every single crack in our life, hey?
Yeah. He's like going crazy right now, but that's a different topic. But
Not related.
yeah.
Oh, okay, that's really interesting. I guess that makes sense because kind of everything's online now, right? It's more like socially acceptable to just meet people online and make actual connections.
Yeah, and it might be easier for like us introverted people
That's
to
true. Yeah, I guess hiding behind not hiding behind the wall, but like it's your safety blanket before you
Yeah.
kind of go out even
and
more.
like
Right?
if you make dope ass shit, then you're more inclined to like meet them in person afterwards, I guess. Like when you have a successful project together, maybe afterwards you feel comfortable enough to go out and meet them.
That's true. Like you get to vibe it out,
Yeah.
test the waters, and then you can actually go out. But then let's not get catfished. Is that still a thing? That's still a thing, right?
I mean,
As a creative,
Oh, I don't know. Well, like,
what are you talking
okay.
about?
Okay. Side topic. Like, what if they're not someone who you think they are? Like, in terms of, oh, this guy's super bubbly and cool, awesome, and you meet him in person,
He's
and
full like-
they,
Oh,
you know
true.
they have like completely different front.
yeah, like their online personality is different from their
Yeah,
in
yeah,
person. But I guess catfishing is more like
yeah. It's not,
you thought you were talking to like an
yeah,
18-year-old
okay,
guy,
That's different.
and it turns out to be like a 40-year-old virgin fat dude.
Fair enough. Yeah.
That's more catfishing.
Okay.
I guess that's a downside, but let's ignore that part.
Yeah. I just want to say something really interesting
Okay.
that happened to me the other day. So I sold my iPad recently. That's not the
Yeah.
point. I sold my iPad recently to another fellow designer because I posted it on a design group because I thought, the iPad that I have is a pro and it would be a lot more useful for designers who are looking to do
Right.
illustrations and stuff. So she contacted me, and it was interesting because she was like, oh, like I'm just new to the area, like to the field, and I really want to ask questions. Like, do you mind coming out for coffee and things like that? Like when we meet
Right.
up for the iPad, like she still wanted the iPad.
Yeah.
So we met up and she bought me a coffee, and then we sat there for an hour just talking about
Oh, that's
the
cool.
field.
Yeah.
And she was really, really passionate, and she came from like a teaching background, like a teacher, and she was like, I'm 40 this year.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
but we just clicked so easily, just the way we talked as well. And she was just like, yeah, I'm really interested. I don't know where to start because I've done a little bit of everything. And she was just genuinely wanting to know more about the industry and like where to get more tips and tricks and just like insight into the field. And I thought that was really nice that we still do that these days, like come meet for coffee and talk about our struggles as a creative. But yeah, that was my story
Oh, that's
from
awesome.
selling something online.
Did
And
you
then-
plug our podcast?
No, I didn't. I didn't think
No,
about it.
no, that's really cool actually. Because you didn't really expect to like you're selling an iPad, you just want to sell it, right? But then you actually made a connection out of that through to another creative person, which is really awesome.
Well, yeah, basically because she was like, do you mind if I ask you some questions? I was like, oh, look, like we're already meeting up. Why don't we just grab a coffee and we just talk, if you don't mind, face to face, social distancing. Hey. Yeah, but that's my little story of the week.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
You're gonna keep in contact with her. I think that's the problem I have the most. Is like meeting people and then keeping in contact with them.
I know what you mean. Like, I don't know if this has happened to anyone else, but there could be a person that you really vibe with. Like, wow, like we got on so well, but then you lose contact with each other. Like, and it's not that you don't try. Like, maybe you do, but then the other person's like, sort of like, I'm busy, can't do this, can't do that, blah, blah, blah. And you sort of thought that you'd stick together.
It's because of that like little, you get a connection, you like feel that connection, but then it's not strong enough to pursue because it's a lot of effort, which is like the sad thing, right? Because obviously most people are comfortable with their own groups, and then if you meet someone new, you're like, yeah, cool, they're awesome, but it just has to be convenient enough for you to meet them and like you cross paths in another way.
Oh, true. So maybe you'll meet like later down the track, like 2 years later.
But depending on the person, you can be really proactive and be like, let's fucking meet up.
Yeah, I think I can't. That's out of my comfort zone. Like if I know the other person, hasn't really made an effort, then I'll be like, okay, I won't make an effort. But I know what you mean. If one person like takes that first step, it could go like a different way.
Yeah.
So.
All right. If you're not convinced, our stories convincing about meeting people. Did that convince anyone? But if you're not convinced already, let's list a couple of reasons why. Why it makes sense to kind of meet with people creatively and personally, because it's such an untapped thing that people feel like. I feel like it's so underrated.
Can I just say that this is different to networking? I feel.
No,
you reckon?
Well,
like you're not
still
you're not,
counts.
It is, but I'm saying like you're not going out there with the purpose to be like, I'm meeting you so I can get opportunities. Like you're just genuinely going out there to make connections and just sort of interacting with other people and maybe getting a different perspective on your work or something like that. Not going out to connect and be like, yo, like hit me up if you need something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Making genuine connections.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So in saying that, insane network. Okay, let's put the networking part back in a little bit. There's a little bit. Okay, you're giving yourself the opportunity to explore.
Yeah.
Right. So you're trying to find people who you're just literally putting yourself out there and seeing what's there. Because from my experience, I was very narrow-minded. I really put my head in. I was like, I only want to meet this type of person. But then now I'm like, okay, I want to meet anyone, because
what changed?
The fact that I've met new people over the years, I've gone like, okay, like there are a lot of similar experiences and a lot of similar interests that we have.
Yeah.
I just put myself a wall. I just put a wall there myself.
Right.
And then over time, I've explored those people and I sound like a slut.
Sexually.
Over time,
those people.
I explored different people, and now you know that now I know what type of person that I want to meet, right? What type of person I vibe with. But at least I'm more closer to that goal.
Yeah.
And obviously it will open more doors to like potential opportunities.
Yeah.
So if the more people you know, the more connections you make, the more people will know what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
The more you can let them know, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. But it's all about making that genuine connection, like building that foundation of friendship with people that you vibe with. Because if they don't feel like you're genuine, obviously like there's no connection there, right?
100%. Like, in saying all this, you have to be genuine. You can't be a fake piece of shit. You can't be fake. So subconsciously, everyone kind of can vibe if you're being genuine or not. Even if you know it or not, your brain is always working and thinking, okay, is this person real or fake?
Oh yeah, or if they just want something.
Or they
from
just
you.
want something from you.
Yeah.
Everyone can feel that to a degree, and just being a genuine person just gets you there. There's no point.
Be a real
in trying to
person,
be
guys.
fake.
Be a real person.
Yeah.
Another thing that I want to touch on is obviously I've talked about getting another perspective on your work, and that's like another thing that really helps as well. Like obviously you might have, we've just talked about it before, like different group of friends, and sometimes when you just want that critical feedback, you're not going to the right group to get it. You want critical feedback as a creative, so you obviously want to seek another creative. And that's another thing as well. Like once you find a group that you really, really vibe with, like the feedback that they give is like literally just like, wow, I didn't see it in that way.
Yeah.
Because you might have like, you know, Ben might be from, not mine, but Ben's like from a film, and then Field and then Alex from audio, and I'm from graphics. So it's like, sometimes it's hard to be like, the alignment needs to be like this. But then like in retrospect, like it's really good to just get different opinions, because there are certain things that you might not have seen or caught.
Yeah. In
Yeah.
saying that, you learn at twice the speed. From my experience working with like Lyndon and Kang and Chrissy, every time I've shown my work to them, I'd be like, oh, something's a little bit weird about it. That's why I show them.
Yeah.
And then they'd always pinpoint it and be like, yeah, this is the thing that's wrong with it. And I'm like, oh shit, fucking, I did not see that at all. And then now in the future, I'm always aware of like that one thing they pointed out. So you're learning at twice the speed, and you're just getting like specific feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah. And from like a non-creative people, they just go, yeah, dope, cool stuff, awesome, thumbs up,
Looks
fire
nice, even though-
emoji. And they can't exactly pinpoint it, because they can subconsciously see something wrong with it, but they just can't
You just
Explain
don't know
it?
how to
articulate the
explain it,
word. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And in saying that, keeping each other accountable as well. So if you have a small, tight-knit group of people, and you say you're going to do one thing,
Yeah.
like I do, I'm like, I'm going to do this thing, and I tell everyone I know, it keeps me accountable.
Yeah.
So if you have people who you're closer with and you tell them, they're going to be like, okay, bro, like,
Yeah.
where's this? Why'd you do that?
You might forget about it, but then like 2 months later, they might check in with you and be like, yo, you said you want to do that thing. Like,
That's the
have you?
worst feeling.
And then you're just sitting there like, oh shit, true. Like I thought about it, but I didn't do it. That's me. Like there's no point in keeping the thoughts to yourself. Like it's nice to put it out there and be like, guys, this is what I'm going to do. Like this is what I want to do, and bounce ideas off each other. And then someone will catch you up on it like later down the track.
Like later down the track, someone's like, how's that thing going?
And you're like, oh, that thing.
I don't want people saying that to me, but it's good when people say that to you, because you're like staying accountable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. And in the end, it's not a competition. Like once you like find a group that you like can vibe with, you guys just like bounce off each other, and you guys motivate each other to do better.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. If you see, like, it's good to have healthy competition, but if it's a competition where you sabotage each other,
Oh,
Toxic.
that's
like,
toxic.
that's toxic, bro.
Never
Just
had that
Get
experience.
out of that, bro.
Just
That's
leave. That's
also
a
for
red
relationships.
flag.
Yeah.
Get out of that, bro.
everything we just said is very applicable to
Yeah. So
relationships as well.
Yeah, man. If you
This-
see a red flag,
yeah.
fucking
if this title can be interchangeable with cultivating your creative circle and finding the right partner,
Finding your lifetime partner.
finding your lifelong partner, it's the same thing. It's the same literal concept. So
takeaways.
takeaways. How do you connect with others now? We've given you reasons why. We told you our experiences why. So how do you like try to connect with other people? There's easy ways. So social media. Everyone knows that. Social media and community events in your area. Obviously slide into their DMs, blah, blah, blah. Find events that are happening right now. What are quick ones that come up in your head?
Reddit, like I mentioned before, Reddit. There's a lot of subreddits like making hip hop.
Yes,
People are very
sir.
friendly there.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Design groups.
Design groups and creative mornings in Brisbane, at least.
Yep.
Creative mornings, TDK.
Yeah,
The design
the
kids.
design
Yeah.
kids. Yeah.
And there's a TDC. Is that the same thing?
GDC is a conference. It happens
okay.
every year. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's always something local happening in your area. There's lots of creators everywhere. So that's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
But we're here to tell you something a little bit different. A little bit different.
Yes, we
right?
are.
Yes. So we don't want to give you the same fucking information as everyone else. So this is something that we feel like would kind of get you out of your bubble a little bit faster. And,
Yeah. So obviously the ways that we just said were more like an online interaction with each other. But if you want to go that like extra step, I think I really like meeting people in person, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how
Old
you do it.
school.
Yeah, old school. I'm old. But even if it's just a matter of contacting them first through like DMs and being like, hey, like, do you want to grab a coffee? It's a really different environment when you sort of catch up or talk to people like that instead of online. Everything is so like digital nowadays that you forget to interact with people, right? But
You forget how to connect with people.
yeah, and
At least that's what happened to me. I'm like, how do I talk to people?
How do I drink coffee and talk at the same
Like,
time?
literally, I was at the cashier and I was like ordering something. I don't know if I told you guys this yet, but I'm like ordering something at like a cafe. And I just didn't know how to fucking talk. I was like, hey, can I get like this brunch? And I'm just looking at the menu on the phone.
yeah.
And I just keep looking at my phone. I'm just not listening to them. And I'm just too in my head. And it was so awkward. And I just kept like, oh yeah, can I get this? And put my phone in my pocket. And I take it back out because I didn't know what to look at. Because the cashier would take like 5 seconds tops. But it felt like 5 years.
Yeah.
And she's just like, beep, 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 boop, boop.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh shit, this is too long. Check my phone. And then put it back.
Oh my god.
And I did that like 3 times within like a 2-minute conversation.
Yeah.
And yeah. So
That's
I forgot how to talk to people.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, the way we suggest it is that if you want to, even if you just want to grab a group of creatives, you know, like, or just acquainted with or mutually acquainted with, I'd say.
Yeah.
And then just
Just
make it an open invite. Just be like, hey, who wants to grab a coffee or Friday drinks this weekend, and then just talk about our miserable life as a creative.
Yes.
Like, we're always down for that. So if you want to catch up with
Please,
us,
we're lonely.
please.
Yeah. So don't even different perspective. So don't even try and find people who are creative.
Oh.
Yeah. So don't even try and like explore that area yet. Just hang out with your one friend. Your one friend that you want to hang out with, right? Go out. They might have friends. Hang out with their friends. And their friends are going to have more friends. Right? Just make connections with them. Just talk to them, be a human. And then people are just going to like you that way. For me, the best people that I've found so far are people that I've least expected. So, like the way I found Lyndon, right, was through a friend. And he's not even creative. He does like engineering. And I was like shocked. I'm like, oh shit, okay. This guy remembered that I did this. And then now he wants to connect me with this guy. So in the least expected places, you're going to find someone who you're going to work with for a long haul. So I think, you know that like predicament when you're trying to find something, you don't find it.
Yes.
But when you stop trying to find it,
Yes.
you find it.
Yeah.
Like
I
your
know
keys, your phone, your wallet. Exactly the
you're-
same concept.
When you're looking for something to wear, an outfit in particular, and you go shops to find it, like every single store, and you never find it, but you swear like 2 days ago you literally saw it in store. That's my little.
That's Lindy's story.
So like we said before, this is very applicable to being in relationships.
Yeah.
So
Why
you're gonna
why are you looking this way, bro?
because everyone's to my left. Hello.
Yeah.
So you got to find people that you don't vibe with, and it's okay.
Yeah.
So just be a hoe. Because if you don't like that person, move on to the next. Same with dating. You don't like certain aspects of people, you gotta just move on to the next one.
Yeah, exactly. So there's just not going to be people you're going to vibe with. And
So you just keep doing that until you find that one person you want to spend the rest of your life with.
Be-
wait. Now this is too
Wait.
specific. All right. Find your creative unicorn. Find your creative unicorn, collab, and do great work. That's as simple as that.
Yep,
Easier said than done.
of course.
It could probably take a lifetime, but obviously,
You guys are too deep
the
today.
more people you find, the faster that's going to be. Right. So yeah.
and also remember we're all shut up, man. We're always happy to meet new people. So if you guys ever need a hand with anything or just want like a different insight or perspective or a little critique, just like message us. Like, we're not scary people. We're happy to help.
Lindy's kind of scary.
I'm not scary.
When she's like chilling, she has like a
Oh, really?
RBF. Look that up.
Biggest RBF.
Yeah.
Guys, please consider subscribing to our August mail list.
Yes, sir. It covers our topic on episode 2. So episode 2 was we're dressing the part, making famous, and this kind of dives a bit deeper into reasons to focus on your image, more reasons, and just how to do that if you're stuck.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm Ben,
I'm Lindy.
And I'm Alex.
and
this
this
is
is
the
the Cold
Drip
Drip
Podcast.
Podcast.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace.
Goodbye.
See ya. See ya.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Put a smile on your face.
Okay, I know how to perfectly time my coffee now.
What?